cents and just be done with it. But it's up to the board. Start.
I talked to Contract and I said,
So
well,
I make a motion that we zero out the community garden water budget as of this date and just go forward.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
There you go.
those are the things I wanted to put in front of you guys, so,
I was gonna give you 3 pennies, so
Well-
you pay it.
But
Since I got rushed tonight and forgot.
my concern is more that it costs so much, for 7 months of getting these bills, and it's just stupid. It costs a lot more to process the bill.
I agree with
No,
you.
I think we should talk to Penachuk about not billing people for cents, low amounts, but accumulate it up until it's essentially worthwhile processing a bill.
And I assume it's some interest charge. I mean, I do my best to get signatures and get the bills into Sue Bailey,
Right.
but sometimes I'm not in the right cycle for her. So sometimes it's a month before the bill gets paid, through Sue. Because by the time I
We
get
can't have,
signatures,
they won't know any. I just assume make one change at a time with Penachuk.
Okay.
So that, because they don't really control that other aspect. I mean, it goes like every other bill would just be treated the same way. You can't make exceptions for a late payment as a late payment. So,
no, I don't think Sue.
well, that's
Because it's a town, it's a town.
no, I don't think it's. I don't.
I just give her whatever figure she needs. So,
Oh,
it's no big
so
deal to
I
us.
think. So does that sort it?
I think so. All set.
Anything else?
Oh, all set.
Excellent.
All set.
So that is to zero the balance for the community
Right.
gardens.
But moving forward, do we have to have another vote on what we're going to make the minimum before we bill?
And why don't you
That's a
talk to-
proposal we'll have to deal with
talk to
another
Penachuk
night that's not on the
and find out.
agenda.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Okay,
Drag in.
have a nice night.
So good luck getting staff.
I was just asked to come down.
Is there a reason why you haven't paid your water bill in a year?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. State has kind of been a pain in the neck this year. They're withholding quite a bit of money. I think we've got that resolved, and I think as of June 1st, we've already got payment plan with the town, and all the current bills are being paid. We've got a balance that's due, and I'm hoping to have that resolved within the next, I think it was 6 months.
Who did you get the payment plan with?
The treasurer's office.
Because there's nothing done here.
So
With the water bill.
there are two separate things. There's
So
the existing
we're
rate.
paying the current bills, and that's been going on for at least a couple months, I think.
No, according to what I read, nothing's been paid since.
So the lien is with the treasurer's office, so the lien is being
Yep.
taken care of now.
Mm-hmm.
And going forward, as far as I know, the bills are being paid.
I've got charge for January, February, March, April, and May, with no payments.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that's been resolved and we're back on.
That's you want to look at it.
This is as of 5/29, so that's a month ago.
So I think everything's being resolved as of June 1st.
Okay.
We're paying the current bills and we're working on the lien and so forth. I've let the office know that we're working on it, gonna be forgotten, and we would catch up. It was
Mhm.
just a lot of bills that we didn't expect. The rates we didn't expect. Raleigh's the most expensive in Massachusetts now.
Soon to change.
What's that?
Soon to change. Everybody's catching up with us.
Yeah.
And we
so-
did drop the rates 10%.
And we dropped ours 10%, and like Georgetown and Ipswich are upping theirs every year for the next 2 or 3 years.
Okay. Well, it was a little unexpected, so we're doing the best we can to. The state's not paying their bills either, so that makes it a little harder on us, but we will make every attempt to make sure we're good on it. I would like to ask if it would be considered that we, and I have asked before, that maybe something can be done about the interest.
I actually heard that that's what you're looking for, so I researched it through town.
Okay.
And I talked to Karen Summit and I talked to Sue Bailey, and both of them told me it was illegal to do that.
Okay.
For us to do anything.
Yeah.
We can take
They,
it up
she
with them, but
she
we're
can't
having
even
a
she
time.
can't even do it.
Yeah.
Is what she told me. She was supposed to send me if she had time, she was going to send me the chapter and verse, but I never got it, so she must have run out of time and forgot. But I stopped in and talked to the both of them, and I got the same answer from both of them. That's you cannot rebate interest.
Okay.
So I did check on that because I heard that's what you were looking. So I wanted to see if we could legally do that or not.
Okay.
So.
All right. I do have a question, and I don't know if this can be done either. We have, we've got a couple of successful wells, and we were planning on putting them online, at least limitedly. I was wondering if the town would consider abandoning a line or letting us purchase one of the lines. And the line I'm talking about is going down Bowlery Drive. So it'll be the corner of Mansion Drive down Bowlery. I think about 15 years ago, that's all new line. We donated the labor, the machine, and the town paid for the pipe. I was wondering if some arrangement can be made to for us to purchase the pipe and hook into it with our wells. It would save us a lot of digging.
I don't know if you could do that. That's a public water supply, and I don't.
If it were to be disconnected from.
If it was abandoned, but how would you supply the school?
The school is off of Mansion Drive, correct?
Is it? I have no idea.
We've given them a right of way that goes up the driveway. We wouldn't be able to disconnect CU because it's over 25 people. I can't use that water for the nursing home, so that'll always have to be hooked up. But the rest of the property is on the hill. I would like to feed by those wells.
Because the only
What about Ruby's Ranch? You have enough people there that it would get to be considered a public water supply. I
No.
would think. That's
We can certainly discuss it. Absolutely. We would have to look at some plans and stuff and really get into
the other concern.
finer details.
The other concern I have is fire hydrants.
We have enough that we'd be able to supply those
No, you
items.
Guarantee you don't.
As far as pressure or water?
Pressure and water.
The
Well,
pump,
we
the
don't
pumps that
know
we're
until-
using are powerful enough. I would say they're comparable to what the water department has for pumps.
They aren't big enough to supply water. That's why you have the 1.3 million gallons on the hill. That's your fire protection.
But wouldn't they still have the fire plugs that are going up to Mansion Drive?
Yeah, but there's one on Bowlery Drive that protects his house, his barn, the school.
And those are hooked into that
That's all
pipe you
hooked.
want to take over?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can sit here and speculate, but I am open to discussing this, absolutely. The biggest thing that pops up in my mind is that a couple of years ago, we did a whole big study about people with private water and public water, because the state says you can't do both. You can't have both in a residence. I'm not sure if I'm stating this right. Cross connection.
Yes,
Right.
so it can't be a cross
You're aware of that, right? You can't have cross
Well, I was
connections.
hoping that we could cut it off at Mansion Drive, and
Yeah.
it hooks up to Bowlery
Yeah.
somehow, so that can just be turned off, and then
Let it be cut and capped. It can't be a valve.
Well, exactly, but that's
But yeah,
exactly,
I mean, if it's-
once that's done, then there would be, water lines and water main that's pretty much abandoned at that point, which wouldn't be our responsibility anymore.
well,
which
what I'm
could be-
thinking,
Could be
if
yours.
and when we supply it, it'll be supplied at the dry well at the barn,
Mhm.
the one to the left of the arena.
Yep.
And if we could charge that, I'd like to be able to get it back to Mansion Drive just to feed the ranch house.
Now, what do you have for reservoir?
Well, we
supply.
have 3 7,000-gallon tanks on top of the hill that have to be replaced with probably an upright tower.
Is that town water in those 7,000 or the?
No,
They-
there's always been wells up there.
Yeah, they'd have to be replaced. And the piping, I believe, that we can use from the original wells, it's all cast,
Gas,
Whatever it is.
yeah.
and it's all in pretty good shape. And I'd like to think that we can use already hooked up to the well site. We would have to come down from the top of the hill to the barns. And if we could hook in there, it would save us digging down the driveway to the ranch house. I don't know, I mean, it's kind of a,
It's certainly possible. We would definitely have to just, continue some discussions and look at an actual plan, what you really want done, where, how would we go about doing it? You won't want, like, if anyone can, disconnect, have their water services disconnect and be on their own, on wells, whatever. I think that one thing is just a nearby fire hydrant, which could be addressed in a way. We can have discussion.
even a portion thereof.
I would say, I mean, I'm open to this. I mean, it's a business that's.
My biggest concern is fire protection up there.
Yep, mine is cross connections.
Fire protection, if you haven't got a pump that's gonna supply 3,000 gallons a minute, it's useless. That's two fire trucks.
Right, we could also just be supplying just the fire hydrant.
Then you defeated the
Water
purpose.
services and everything else.
Then you defeated the purpose.
No,
He wants to use the pipe that's going to the fire hydrant at the end.
right. We have to look at some plans.
Yeah.
So I think we're open to it. I want to say, I'm very open to it, but this is a lot of questions, Steve.
Mhm.
So I would suggest kind of putting together a proposal. You don't have to use lawyers or engineers. Just put together, I want to do this, this, and this. This is the pump, this is the speed, this is the pressure. I'm making this up as I go.
Mhm.
But
The other thing you
make a
want to do
proposal
is check with
first.
your insurance company. Because if that fire hydrant gets eliminated from the town service, that may mean an increase in your fire insurance. Just a thought, don't know if it would be or not, but that's a distinct possibility. I know we get lots of calls from lots of insurance companies asking where fire hydrants are when they're doing plans for new houses or newly acquired houses.
So I was in Maine. I am chewed alive. This week I can't help it. I'm from head to foot. The mosquitoes were brutal. Anyways, so I don't know. Is that what do you think, Steve?
If it can be considered, it'd be very
I
helpful.
mean, we'll consider anything. I'm trying to be the devil's advocate and show you things that could come up.
And I mean, it doesn't mean too when you come, we say get on the agenda, we'll talk about it. And if there's like 3 or 4 things you need to do more work on, do it. And then, definitely open to, notwithstanding any previous things. I don't really care. It's the best going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Want to make it as good as possible.
Now, Bowlery Drive, is that a municipal town road or is that your road?
It's a right of way to Solstice and this.
So it's not owned by the town? Good question. Huh?
It is a good question.
I don't know.
My understanding is.
I used to plow it,
we
but I
own
don't
the
know if they
middle.
still do or not.
But I think, it's plowed privately. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I don't think the highway department goes down.
They
All
stop
right, I
at
think
the,
we stop.
they stop at the pillar, turn around and go back, so it's gotta be it could be I don't know. I don't know.
Another thing to research.
What's that mean?
What's Fennel Drive? I imagine it's the same thing.
Fennel Drive is town until the bridge. And then the dirt section where
I would say
is
Baldwin.
private.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. You've been fighting that battle a lot longer than I know about.
Is
So,
that pipe on that road? I mean, I pipe along that right away.
what for the hydrant?
No, the
Yeah.
pipe is on Town Road, Bowlery, at least that section, I believe, is Town Road. Bowlery is
Okay.
Town Road. So I can't remember.
And that's what the section you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know
So-
if there was any, whatever. So
It sounds like it's something, if you make a proposal, we'll have to run it by Tom Mullen, see the legalities of it and stuff.
Yeah, but we should be
All
able to
right. The other concern I have, and it's ongoing, Seaview has a lot of equipment that helps maintain the water. Every time, and I brought this up probably 5 or 6 times, Every time that the hydrants are flushed, unfortunately, we're at the end of the line and we get everything. When the rust and the sediment comes into the building, it's an absolute nightmare for us. Our flushometers are very sensitive. All it takes is a little speck of rust, and those flushometers will run all night without anybody knowing. And by morning, I would venture to say it's at least...
Do you ever think about putting a filter on that?
We have all kinds of filters. The thing is, when it gets bumped, when that sediment comes up, filters are junk. All that equipment is junk. We've got to replace everything. I mean, it's pretty tedious.
Is there any way we can turn them off while we're doing
And half the time, I don't even know
gates?
that they're flushing. And then, of course, if something breaks, it's the same thing. We end up with everything at the end of the line.
Brakes we can't help.
I
We don't
understand
predict
that,
those.
but I don't know if there's anything that can be done, maybe at the last hydrant to avoid some of this, or
Can we start with at least notifying you well in advance when we have plans?
well, I've asked for that.
I thought that's what we were
Is that
doing.
what's not happening
It's
right now?
it's not always happening. I can't say it's happening all the time. I'm not getting a lot of notifications when it's going to happen.
So we do flushing, Kathy, let's make a note that, let's make an asterisk that, CU needs to be notified.
Because I'm with Steve, we've already discussed this many times. I was under the understanding that that's what was being done.
I never heard that.
Ours-
Sorry.
Okay.
We have a lot of staff changeover here. I'm sure we have contacted you in the past and forgot and didn't do it for years. And just new people get on board, just go out there and start flushing hydrants all over the place.
So he's brought it up, and so Kathy, if you can add it to the agenda things, if flushing is ever on there, just de facto, we gotta
Tell Pennachuck,
we should
tell
tell-
ourselves.
Yeah.
Just consider this, my monthly water bill will double with one incident of the flushing. That's about how it equates to. I mean, it destroys a lot. Not
So to get those
mention
things
the labor.
flowing, it's expensive.
The labor alone will freak you out. Because I gotta go to all those flushometers, take the top off, take the diaphragm, clean that out, put it all back together, times 50? Somewhere around there. So I get a little aggravated at that, not to mention Mr. Mile. So it does create quite a problem for us. And I'm just hoping that eventually you guys will understand that and maybe can do something about it. I don't know if something can be done at that last hydrant before it gets into the building to avoid some of this, so it drains off and we can flush it out, so I'm not paying for everything that's going through the building. That would be extremely helpful. I don't know what they got for equipment, but to me, it seems like we could head it off somewhere to avoid this getting into the building. 'Cause it's just, and I've tried to do it myself, but it's in the form of filters. And one shot, those filters are pretty.
Yeah, that was my first thought. That's why I said it.
Doesn't take
Maybe you
much
should
to
give it a
clog the
filter, but you're talking huge filters because you guys have pretty serious size water use.
So please just consider, because it is getting extremely expensive. And the bill, I've let your office know, we will pay it. I was hoping to avoid some of the interest, but I
Like I
understand.
said, I was in the town hall last week just for that reason, to see if there was anything we could do or what we could legally do.
I would be happy if we just consider some kind of device that keeps all the crap out of the building. It would be very, very helpful.
Rob, you gonna do some research?
Yep.
Sounds good. Anything else, Steve?
Well, that's it. We will catch up. Just give
Come
some
visit us
time.
anytime.
All right? Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Yep. Look forward to seeing what you come back with for the proposal. No, seriously, for the water main, privatizing your main. I don't know if that's the right word, but just call Kathy and
I'll talk to
take
my
you on
all
anytime.
guys and see what they can come up with.
Yeah. We'll just get it started. You don't have to have a complete solution.
Did you have to do new wells, Steve, or could you revamp the
Well,
old
we
ones?
had the existing wells, but because of the regulations, we had to go deep.
Mm-hmm.
And we've come up with some pretty good water. Pretty happy with that. We've had to do some hunting for it, but.
What's the size of the wells you put in?
They're what?
4, 5, 6 inches, something like that?
8 inch, I believe.
8 inch?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good
About
walls.
500 gallons a minute?
We're upwards of that. Oh, no, not 500, no. Not quite 500. But we got enough to keep us well hydrated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you went into the nursing home, you'd have to be licensed the same as these guys are. And
That's why,
treatment and the whole spiel.
that's why we can't, I was hoping to avoid that,
Yeah.
but.
Unfortunately, the DEP doesn't allow that. They're
They don't
concerned
allow much
about
nowadays.
everybody.
It's getting worse.
Yeah.
So you see what we're going through, because you had,
Yeah, I don't know, you guys gotta deal with it more than I do, so, and I just do not have a public water supply, so I'll
Mhm.
get to that point. Cut off.
even the Girl Scout camp, they have wells up there. Well, now it's the Y. They have to have somebody licensed to
Yeah.
just their little well.
I guess the cutoff is if you serve more than 25 people, you gotta have
Mhm.
everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, other than that, it's a very small system, which is a different license, but it's,
Anyway,
All
thanks for your
right.
time.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Oh my God. Oh. When you start scratching it, it
You
turns
can't-
on to all the rest of the lights.
John, Conley's drugstore in Ipswich, I don't know if you're familiar.
Oh, yeah.
They make, they're a compounding place, so they make Conley summer gel. It is like the best.
Going
You
on
have to
that.
go get it. It's
Oh.
worth every dime. It has lidocaine, it has anti-itching, it has anti-pain, it's everything. And it's clear.
Yeah, no, we were, we go to the same place every year, and the folks that run the camp, they just said, they've owned the place 15 years, and they said it's the worst mosquito season they've ever had, because it's been so wet. They said
Yeah.
the woods are wet, the lake was up 6 inches over the weekend before we were there, and it was up, like half the dock was underwater, because the water was so high, but beyond that, the
Perfect
fishing was
breeding.
phenomenal. That was the best year ever for fishing.
Yeah.
We were nailing everything, and someone got a salmon too.
see that?
Did you cook it?
That's a bug bite from the last time I was in Disney. Hasn't gone away yet, still itching.
No, it was a half inch too small.
Oh.
So,
All right, next thing. We did more than our due diligence, I should say the employees did, trying to get proposals to take down Station 1 and fill it in and bring it back to the way it was,
yeah,
because it's such a liability.
yeah.
Bob said he looked into it today. There's actually some pump equipment still in there
Really?
in the basement.
Oh my God.
Nothing that's any good.
Just scrap metal.
So we did get 2 proposals. One from TW for $5,800 and one from Renault Industries from Portsmouth for $23,300.
Which did include the seating and stuff.
Which did not, right?
Right.
TW included seating it over. This one did not. What else is there?
Well, asbestos is encountered, but I assume TW will handle that too,
Mm-hmm.
even though I didn't specify it. The glaring difference.
No
in
ledge,
Yeah.
no hazardous materials.
I would make a motion that we award the contract to TW Excavating.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And then Colin?
Yeah, unfortunately, the well has been abandoned, so, by previous boards, so to start over, we'd have to start over again from scratch if we wanted to use that area as a,
Yeah, at least we clean it up.
but we need to, right now, with the way the building sits, it's a liability.
Yeah, so how
It's
many,
starting to fall apart, and, next thing you know, kids are gonna get in there, and there's holes in the floor, and the whole spiel.
I was gonna say, isn't that one of the places that we're gonna look at redoing, looking at possible website?
It's on like the last of them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the last one, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew we had a list.
I think it was originally a good spot, but I don't believe anymore. Because it's been abandoned so long that everyone's been building houses around it, it's just not really a good option anymore.
Oh, next thing on the thing is to discuss the Georgetown connection. We have got a memorandum of agreement John, you're on, because you're the one's been dealing with this.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to even look at it yet.
Yep, no, it's, I don't say boilerplate, but it's,
Yeah.
I had a call with Tom Mullen to answer a bunch of his questions. They weren't anything challenging other than, are those the numbers? Yeah. So you put the numbers that we talked about in.
Mm-hmm.
I told him we wanted to have it go out to November, even though it was, we get 2 solid months and then it's weekly, just to give them some flexibility and then have it run out to November. And then at that point we can renegotiate if we need to, or they'll have a better idea of where they're at. So it says during the month, I'll just look at some of the things here.
Yeah, I skimmed through
Full
it.
calendar weeks, no partial weeks. The mean flow were 1 million or less, 3 weeks, boo, boo, boo. Just lays it out. If it's full calendar weeks, a partial week of 2 days, and partial week of 1 day. He's just getting into the specifics and just making the calcs. Either party can terminate it with 10 days written notice. The payment goes, he had set up to have the payment go to the town, to Debbie's attention.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're okay. I have no issue with that, but,
We know where it's ultimately going to, so.
Penachuk, but that's the way she worked with him and set it up.
That's fine.
And then the parties agree the time is of the essence, so that, that's it. We've got a space for us to sign, for them to sign.
So who's actually doing the invoice on our side?
Let me see.
Is that?
That would make
Penachuk?
sense that we would be doing
So
this.
Penachuk will send the invoice.
We can have them do it, yep. We've got to have someone read it, report it, and then,
Is the water flowing yet?
No, we can't do anything until we can sign it, sent over. But everything's set up,
Okay.
and they're desperate for water right now. They have been for over a week now.
okay. Well, okay, I can get the lawyers to go so fast.
So how does this work? Do we contact Penachuk? Like, is there something I need to do?
After we
Set
get
up a
it.
temporary account, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
yeah, the town of Georgetown. And we'll do the reading and then give the number to them and they'll issue a bill. It's a lot of money, a lot of water, but it's not like we have to have that to run our operations, so we can let it flow through the Penachuk process, which is, I think, best, because the more we can keep it standard, better for them, better for us. We have an improved process in place, if that makes sense.
We just have a meter? Did they just have a meter like anyone else?
Did they
They have a
They have a huge meter.
They
install it?
won't be doing radio.
They installed all that stuff.
They did.
Yeah,
So,
It's got to be read by hand.
yeah,
do we read it or do they?
I'll be reading it.
You'll be reading it.
They'll be double checking.
Okay.
We'll both be reading it. So
Is it in gallons or cubic feet?
it's in gallons.
Okay.
Is that good? Okay. So, do you guys have any questions or?
No,
So what's your plan for a schedule for the reading meeting?
every day, right?
Oh, we do, yeah, every day. But it's already like almost July 1st, and so it's most likely. I already have the first reading, and I'm hoping to get this over to them so we can start, tomorrow or the day after at latest.
You mean the baseline?
Baseline reading, yeah. Yeah, I already have that.
So do we need to give them 3 copies of this one, or just,
I was thinking that that's probably the best thing is to make 3 copies of it.
we could take our 3 copies? too?
Yeah.
So.
Because we all have
just
it
need to- there's some
sent to
blanks
us.
here, so we need to fill in the.
I was gonna say, somebody, yeah, if you guys want to write in
So the boundary line between the two towns on
April Street.
Fayetteville Street.
Do these contracts need to be sent to town hall, or can we just do
No,
it
they're ours.
between Georgetown? Georgetown?
That's one.
It's a front, to mark yours up, Mark.
I didn't even see where it needed it, so if you want to just do it. Oh, okay.
So now to Georgetown, any notice to Georgetown hereunder shall be delivered by hand or sent by register or certified mail. So who's it going to?
I actually don't have a good answer for that.
They'll have to fill that in before they sign it.
Yeah, let them fill that in, because there's
Just a
a
copy
couple of
back.
different interim superintendents there, and I don't know who their town.
Probably end up being their town administrator.
So have them, tell them to fill that out when they sign and execute it, and give us back with whatever they filled in there.
So do we sign it? No?
Yeah,
Sign it.
well, I think we should vote first.
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we sign this agreement, member MOA.
Seconded.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
So I'm going to fill in the, sign the last.
Okay, I'll do it first.
I'll do the middle.
Where should these copies? I get the three.
These
copies
three
now.
should go to Georgetown so they can sign it.
Yep, and then we take one.
They take one, we take one, and we have one for our lawyer.
Okay.
The copies for us, the copies.
One for town hall. If they want to make more copies of it, then they can.
Okay.
But
Perfect.
we each get original. Well, we'll have two because we're doing three.
Make sure.
Okay.
One for us, one for them.
Hopefully this goes smoothly.
Yes, so we do have the pump set up. We were playing around with it the other day. We're going to be mostly just running it Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. at a flow rate around 200 to 300 gallons per minute. They may need to use it on weekends. We're not too sure yet, but they plan on contacting us anytime they may need to use it. Say it's a really hot summer day during the weekends, they just can't keep up.
Why did they have to tell us?
They just want to send, it'd be more like they'd be texting me just so I can.
By the way, we can read it because we use it.
Yeah. So I can like the weekend bump off, right? And all that. It's not a water main break, they're taking me off.
They're charging on. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Right. Or that, to let us know that it's currently running, we're running into troubles, that, we can save ourselves 300 pounds per minute by shut the pump off.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's the three signed copies.
Thank you.
You can bring them to Georgetown.
You gonna bring it?
I'm taking it. No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else in discussion in Georgetown?
Good luck to them.
So what was the name of the the two superintendents?
It is Bruce Trumbull from Small Water Systems Services.
Scott.
Scott Edwards, who's also been working with Bruce in therefore Georgetown. Scott Edwards, yeah.
And
Actually, I just met Scott.
he was the head of
Littleton
utilities with,
Electric Light Water District, something acronym.
and he may be interested in.
Well, he's currently, I think, working part-time for Small Water Systems, doing various jobs.
So he may be available.
Anything else on the Georgetown? Current and future operations, you got anything?
Yep.
Probably.
The last part of the sanitary survey will be done tomorrow here at the office. We'll be going over the distribution stuff.
Managerial stuff.
Yes, office stuff, a little bit over on the budget. That should complete the 2019 sanitary survey. We didn't find really anything wrong with the DEP, didn't find anything really wrong with the treatment processes. We are going to note on the sanitary survey that the sodium levels at well 2 should be monitored more closely, and we should start looking into taking actions about it, which we have already discussed. But the amount of it's most likely definitely the amount of road salt in the area, and we should start kind of looking into how to reduce that. That'd be one of the things on the sanitary survey. I don't think there's anything else at the moment. They will be coming here tomorrow.
So is there any need for any of us to be here tonight?
You don't want to talk about the budget briefly, but I think just briefly that we actually have a budget, and that we're, making sure we can pay for expenditures, stuff like that.
So is that saying if I'm available, I should come down, or Mark should come down? What you guys?
I was just going
We
to.
have all the
I wouldn't
budget.
want it, Bernie.
We have all the.
Yeah.
the
Let them
budget.
read it.
And they got
If
questions.
they have questions, they can ask the questions and we can answer it.
It would most likely be capital improvement. You guys got a capital improvement plan? Okay, you gonna, pay off some treatment plants, whatever, and install me.
So we have a
fix
whole
gate
book.
valves. Yeah, it's right.
We paid a lot of money for a whole book,
Yeah.
but if we postponed it for
And
3
they
years.
actually, they really don't get too heavily involved with budgets. It's not really their forte.
No, because they don't give us any
Had
money.
nothing to do with the sanitary.
Right. Yeah. That'll be one of the things. I'm coming down. I'll be down here for that. I have a pretty good understanding of how our budget's going.
And this year, just so you know, because we're right on target, even though we had a $95,000 bill. So we are assuming that what I was looking at is up-to-date expenditures of about.
Might be a few more expenditures for Weathersfield Street. That's a whole other matter.
10,000.
Weathersfield Street, we haven't found any leaks yet. We dug about 40 to 50 feet of water main from the electric pole right next to where the quote-unquote leak is. We've done
East.
40 to 50 feet of trenching across the water main eastbound and haven't found anything. And that brought us all the way up to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so we had to fill everything back in.
Did the water department dredge that channel yet?
The highway department?
Yeah.
No, not that I know of. It wasn't done the other day. I haven't been back down. At some point, we plan on going 50 feet in the other direction, westbound, to search for some more leaks.
We're going to do that after July 1st.
Yes.
Next year's budget.
Which is next
I
week.
know, next week.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
We don't-
After this age,
I wouldn't advise doing it during 4th of July.
No, but there's no money left.
we have to line this up with the light department too. But we are at some point.
Is it going to be another pole in the area?
So we started. They held the pole this way, and we started digging that way.
Mhm.
They have to now flip around, and then we go that way. It's the same pole, but that's kind of our starting point. Lead and copper samples are coming up this next month, which is kind of it's difficult. It's not fun to do lead and copper samples. We have to cut 30 different samples from
So you have to put like 60
different 30 different residents, including schools and stuff.
Because a lot of people don't put
It's
them.
a lot of process. So if Kathy, I absolutely need Kathy's help during all of this. So if you guys can
Like
just
last year.
maybe take it easy on her for a week or two during the lead and copper sample, that'd be wonderful. And the Prospect Hill valve modifications, the bid-in, they just put it out to notification, correct?
Yes,
Say that
it's
right?
in the town newspaper.
Yeah, they just put the notification out
So that's,
for bids
Good.
the other day.
Okay, good.
And I think that's it.
What about your gator? When are you getting that?
After July 1st.
After July 1st.
See, this is stuff that's done in special town meeting like that. There's gates that get repaired.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Can all be done.
Are you just waiting until July 1st, or?
I think we're going to wait till even longer than that. I believe, actually, I know for a fact that you get great deals on machines like that in August when their factory rebates come out from the end of fall. Not, the end of fall. So, end of summer, beginning of fall. They start doing a bunch of factory rebates, get rid of old models and get the new ones in.
This is
Perfect time to buy.
I'm going to say just as long as it's saving time for the season where it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I caught some contractors going up the hill in two-wheel drive they had the freaking spinning their tires all the way up. I happened to be coming down because I was bringing the radio guy up in a 4-wheel drive truck because he didn't have 4-wheel drive, and digging the road up pretty well.
Did you back him down?
I told him he had no business being up here without having 4-wheel drive, and he was not up to try to attempt it again. I got his name,
He was under
the
the
company. I already forwarded to Debbie that morning with pictures, and she's supposed to be calling Crown Castle. I haven't heard anything else back from her, but I can show you pictures.
What the hell?
But because they're doing all kinds of upgrades with the phone systems and stuff, so there's a lot of people up and down that hill.
So what do we do with the lock? Do we still have them
It's 2
sign it
locks.
out?
There should only be one lock.
Yeah, but there's always 2 locks.
I mean, do they have to sign it? Do they sign the key out, or do we go?
They work with the police department.
Oh.
If there's
Once
2
they-
locks,
Once they get in, once they have the first one unlocked, then they'll just sneak their lock on.
well, take it off.
We do usually.
Because it's not supposed to be. If it is, if it becomes a problem, tell me. I will have Debbie get a hold of Crown Castle, because that's not allowed. We have to keep record of who's going up and down that hill, and they sign in at the PD.
So they can either repair the road, or when they want to sign it out, they have to have one of our people, and they can pay for the time, like a detail. Have one of our people go there and watch them open it up.
I can vouch for the
Go
day
up.
I caught the people. It was only one lock. So if there's a new,
Usually there's
if there's 2 locks on it, it came.
sometimes it'll last, sometimes it
Yeah.
But if they're going to start screwing around like that, there can be, spankings administered. I mean, no, we spent a fortune
Oh,
fixing that freaking road.
I read on the Riot Act. Told me spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to fix the road, and you're ruining it. And but I said I got the name of the company. I passed it on to Debbie. She was going to contact Crown Royal, whatever the name of the company is,
Yeah.
Crown Castle, and then she asked me for pictures, and I went up and I walked up it and took pictures up and down, sent them to her, and I haven't followed up on it since then. But
Well,
this is about 3 weeks.
to them, do the right thing or else. You want
She seemed
code
quite-
and controls.
She was quite perturbed, so I'm sure she's.
So I passed there the other day and I saw people wandering up the hill, not in a truck, but they were just essentially walking.
Well, it's Prospect Hill. It's a nature area.
There is a state trail going through there.
I thought the signage at the bottom says it was no trespass.
Yeah, they can go. They can actually up the hill is our property, but they can go. It's only a little narrow area. If you look at the maps, the rest of it's owned by state for nature trails.
But my point being that, like I said, draconian check, it can get to the point where, you want access there, you need a police detail. 4 hours. But it's only, 4 hours. They're going to stand there, you're going to pay for them, they'll unlock it, they'll watch you go up, they'll watch you come down, you'll do the right thing. And like I said, I'll ratchet that up right to the point where they are screaming and howling versus screwing around, having a fun ride up the road.
Yeah, I don't think they expected to see the fire truck, fire department pickup truck coming down the hill as they were boogieing on up the hill, spinning their tires.
Hey, Cletus, watch this. Yeah.
And I even took a picture of the signs at the bottom of the hill saying no trespassing, 4x4, low gear only. So it's not like they can say, well, nobody told us. There's signs right there.
A couple of items if we're in
Yep.
operations. Is that the new HVAC?
Yeah,
Is it working?
it's awesome.
I mean, it feels good.
Yeah, it is. It's quiet too.
That was really nice. Well done.
This was my intent the whole time, and somehow it got blown way out of proportion.
Yeah, it's a little tiny unit out there. That's all you need.
Yeah.
So
We
that-
checked to make sure that the snow wouldn't fall off the roof and hit it as well. It's big E, it's underneath
The
the
big-
E.
It looks pretty protected.
The big thing with this system is don't shut it off at night. Don't just it should just stay and maintain the temperature. Because if you shut it off nights and weekends, it's going to work 3 times as hard during the day trying to catch back up again because everything in the room goes up to 100 degrees.
Next question is Keith. He was hired. Did he accept?
I believe so. You start in
Yes.
July 2nd.
Excellent. Good. Well, welcome aboard if you're watching. And the other question, and I was talking to Rob, and he brought up a really good point, a water ban. Do we want to preemptively go to that since we're going to be selling water?
No. I'll tell you why.
Just for discussion.
This is the first year that people have been able to do stuff in their yard with water
Uh-huh.
in a long time. So I think until the state tells us it's time to put a water ban on, that we should just leave it as is, for number one. Number two, we're giving water to Georgetown. If we have to put a water ban on to give water to Georgetown, then we shouldn't be giving it to them.
Well, it's actually the flow rate. That's what that makes the whole decision.
It's all to do with the flow rate going in Park River. I don't know what it is now, but
It's 30.
yeah, it's still
That's
well above. I mean, Rob and I had this discussion about a week ago
Okay.
because he sent the email out and
Yeah, I just wanted
I think
to,
it's worth talking about.
oh yeah,
I just
definitely.
want to throw it out there.
But-
There's plenty of water.
I don't see
No mistake about that.
why put that burden on the water users if you don't have to. I mean,
Well, I agree.
I could use myself. I've got pressure washing done that I haven't been able to do for the last couple of years on my house and stuff because of the water ban. So, I mean, that's the way I look at it. I don't know what you think, Bernie.
I think exactly the same.
Okay.
It'd be a public relations nightmare
Mhm.
to put the ban on and then have somebody say, we're selling water to Georgetown.
Mhm.
So, even though the two things are disconnected, for the regular person, they're not disconnected.
To quote Obama, the optics wouldn't be there.
Yeah, but the state put the certain points where you have to do it,
Yeah.
and I think we should stick to them.
Yeah. No, and I think if we have to do it, we can still sell.
Right now,
water.
we have no justification to do it.
Just conservation. Regular conservation.
Yeah.
No,
There's no shortage of water around here.
no, as you can see me scratching and itching from mosquitoes.
Other towns around us, but we're pretty lucky right now.
I have green heads in my car already, okay?
Oh,
Well, it is almost July.
It's the season.
It's supposed to be the second week in July.
that's right. You live closer to the Greenhead Village.
All right, so you all set?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Approve the minutes?
Oh, I did have one operation thing.
Okay.
What are we going, so the sink hole, because we emerged in the pavement out here.
That's gonna be fixed,
We
obviously.
got to cut it out, find out what it is, and fill it back in.
So who owned, I mean,
Cardello doesn't have, there's nothing in the contract that says there's a warranty on his work.
I would say it wasn't tamped every 6 inches. It's supposed to.
so that's their,
There's no warranty.
So, well, let's
maybe.
dig it up and see what's
Yeah.
there. Pipe could be
I'm
broken.
hoping it's not a leak
It could be, yeah.
because that would cause a ton of money.
Let's take a look at it first. We just haven't had time to really take a look at it. Yeah, it absolutely has to be cut open. At least cut open.
Cut open and dug down to where it's solid.
Right.
So on the last item then would be on the agenda for next meeting, we try to minimize Pennachuck's. We try to put in place a policy to control Pennachuck's billings for minuscule amounts of money. Because it's just, and
So
we
what was
have a
that
report on,
Exactly.
sorry?
What did you just say, that you'd have to, for the next agenda, talk about
We have a
policy?
policy for Pennachuck so that they're not sending out bills for
Right.
pennies.
A suggestion, maybe have Pennachuck come in. One, to talk about that, and two, to talk about revamping
The
the
bills.
look and feel of the bill.
Yeah,
Look
we
and
need
feel
to
of the bills.
talk to her about
Have them
that.
come in, and if they'll come in and say we want to spend, half an hour of the meeting, and talking directly, if they've got some proposals for cleaning up,
Mhm.
making them more readable.
Yeah, if you could get
For
a hold
July
of them.
9th, right?
Well,
No, probably.
I want them to be ready, so tell them that that's what we want,
Okay.
and when could they meet with us to go over possible proposals?
Okay.
Because if you
And
put
other
a
housekeeping items.
hmm?
And
Yeah,
other housekeeping
Yeah.
items.
I'm sorry?
other housekeeping items such as the 3 cents.
The bill and housekeeping with 3 cents.
And things like 100 Weathersfield Street, where nobody knew that was.
Have we heard anything? We really can't talk about it because it's not on the agenda, but have we heard anything from them?
From,
100 Weathersfield Street?
no,
Okay.
not one word. And they have their letter, their lawyer has the letter.
The last thing is, somebody came in all hot and bothered today while I was here to pay their shut-off notice because the guys were out. You can shut them off. So how's it going? How many?
It's good, it's fine, everything's, almost everything is paid. Paid or being paid tomorrow.
You'll see a different pattern of people. I mean, even some people I can tell you that I was shutting them off 20 some odd years ago.
Well, this lady looked like she had been through this drill before, so
Yeah, she
I
has.
mean, I would be panic-stricken, but she wasn't.
You would have taken care of it when you got your 3rd or 4th notice that you're going to be shut off, rather than wait until you get your like 6th or 7th.
My kids wouldn't.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
Minutes?
I read it, I'll make a motion to approve.
Oh, there are a couple of typos.
Not to approve.
On page 2, item number 5, it says, if anything can be done to prevent water from getting into the well field.
Is it field, see,
Field.
I have a hard time understanding sometimes.
Understanding me?
Yes, and when I listen to the video, just get clarification, sometimes I can't even hear, so, okay.
So it's well
I'll
field.
correct that.
And then item number 6, it's 100K and 125K gallons a day.
Okay. Thank you.
With those corrections, I move that we accept the minutes as written.
Second?
Motion has been made to accept the minutes as corrected. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next meeting.
July 9th?
It's in the meeting, it's in the minutes.
It's nine.
Do you know how to do that too, Paul?
I got the 9th and the 23rd,
Yep, I don't know which one third.
but I think we were going to try to just do one for July and August, just one meeting each month.
Yeah, so we'll do the 9th and decide if
We'll do the 9th and leave the 23rd as a possible,
if we have to.
if we have to.
That would be, we'll have the final budget, we should have the final budget figures for FY 19. Cool. So motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. We are adjourned.